I'm Jeremy Douglas, former coach of Cuesta,
And I'm Robert Meyer, and I happen to be the husband of the head coach, Whitney Meyer.
no biases there
So
at all.
No bias whatsoever. Cuesta entering a match with an overall 11-6 record, 4-2 in conference. Jeremy mentioned Moorpark ranked 9th in the state, 10-3 record, 5-0 in conference. Think Cuesta has a little bit of a challenge ahead of him today.
Traditionally, Moorpark has been one of the state's tougher, as well as the conference tougher teams.
And first set into the net by number 17, Lily Karmanakian. Point Cuesta.
It's a good momentum start for Cuesta to
definitely
take advantage of that.
Out to the early lead, Cuesta 1, serving 0. Number 3, Nancy Andrade, serve.
Nice
over
serve.
The net onto
nice
the
serve.
Ace Cuesta.
Again, jumping in on that momentum as soon as possible. It was a good float serve where just as soon as it crossed the net, it just fell down.
Cuesta up 2-0, Nancy with the serve.
Ooh.
And a shank by number 17 again. Couldn't handle the serve.
Right.
Point Cuesta.
Early on, Cuesta's going after a player. We'll see if that continues.
Sets up.
Ooh,
hit.
Nice set. Nice solid swing by number 14 from Moorpark. Bring it inside.
And she gets it down this time. That's number 14, Janessa Valuaga.
Number 4 jumped into the serving pass right started off to help get them a good positive swing, and Janessa had two good swings there, challenging Cuesta's block. Cuesta's block's going to have to be on their toes to be able to adjust to that.
Number 18, Carrie Essef with the serve. Cuesta hits it up. 18 with the swing. Nancy Andrade with the dig. And kill on the left side here at Moorpark. Point Cuesta. Cuesta leads 4-1.
Great shot by Maddie, working that tough angle right there. Has been a staple in the Cuesta coaching.
The libero, Vanessa Nebelberg, back to serve for the Cougars. Floats a little long and it's out. Point Moorpark. Moorpark will be serving 2, serving 4. Number 1, Madison Fuller back to serve for the, who are they? Sorry, the Raiders. Pass up,
Nice back.
serve to the middle, and it's out. On the right side, point Moorpark.
I like the option of going in the middle like that on an off pass. Keeps the defense guessing. We just need to get a snap on the wrist to get that thing into the corner.
Serves wide by Madison Fuller of Moorpark. Point Cuesta. Cuesta leads at 5-3. Number 19, Mary McAllister checks into the game for number 14, Megan Krause. Mary's back to serve for the Cougars. Serves over. And the Raiders pass it back over the net.
Nice.
Maddie up with the third, but it's dug. Tipped over. Cuesta side, pass up, set. Dug by Moorpark. Tipped over by the Raiders. Tipped over by the Cougars. And tipped over by the Raiders once again.
Looking for some aggressive hit here.
There we go. Maddie
right
on the left side again. Point Cuesta.
You know, the girls are just keeping the ball in play with these tips, but Maddie took advantage of that. Might be some gold in that hard angle shot there.
Mary McAllister back to serve again for Cuesta. Cuesta leads at 6-3. Serve is over. And it's down. Another ace for the Cougars. Mary McAllister with the ace. Cuesta leads 7-3.
Cuesta using a short float serve there again on number 17. Might be seeing something in their scouting report.
Passes up. by the Raiders. Tipped over, pass set on the Cougar side. Maddie Honeycutt.
Oh. Line judge is calling the touch out there.
It's a point for the Cougars. Timeout by the Moorpark Raiders. The Cougars lead at 8-3 in the first match.
Cuesta playing pretty good right now, keeping the Moorpark offense guessing. Even though they were able to get a positive serve receive or a positive receive on that last serve, still didn't get an optimal swing. Still had to tip it, which Cuesta was able to move around, pick it up, and get a swing on it. Cuesta's playing really well right now, doing what the coaches are asking, moving that serve around, making it difficult for the Moorpark serve receivers. It'll be interesting to see how they come out after this timeout.
Yeah. Seems like a lot of adjustment now here on the Moorpark side.
Yeah. Again, momentum is big, and I think having the stands and having the all the peripheral going on is helping motivate these girls.
Back from the timeout, Mary McAllister to serve again for the Cougars. So ball's over, pass, tipped over by the Raiders. Cuesta pass. Back on the Raiders side. Number 12 on the Raiders, Megan Wall, hits the ball out wide. Another point for the Cougars. They still lead it 9-3.
Cuesta still serving Lily, moving that ball around. Setter only had one option, and that was to put it over, which Cuesta was able to easily pick up.
So the set for the Raiders.
A long hit.
Long. Number 12, Megan Wall, hits one out long. 10-3, the Cougars still lead it.
Yeah. Cuesta's serve is doing its job right now.
Mary with the serve over the net. Passed up. Bump set tight into the net, a little tipped over. Cuesta's. Aaron Desjardins with the set. Maddie with the swing. Doug, tipped and dug by the Raiders.
Nice swinging.
Doug by the Cougars and tipped over. Pushed back to the back corner, but is handled by Cuesta. Maddie Honeycutt again.
She's liking that spot.
Finding the angles here on the Raiders' left side.
Yeah.
Another kill for Maddie.
That hard angle's working well. Moorpark's going to have to adjust to that, and then they may want to adjust doing something different with their serve receives. 17, Lily is getting a lot of attention in the serving.
Mary again with the serve. Ooh. Deep, floats out of bounds, out the baseline. Point for the Raiders.
Let's see if Moorpark can use that. Get her, let her off the hook there.
Number 19 comes into the game, Tessa Fury for the Raiders. Moorpark 4, serving 11. Trailing the Cougars currently. Serve is over. Pass by Nancy Andrade over the net, back to the Raiders. Sets up, tip, dug by Vanessa, and tipped down by number 12, Megan Wall.
Nice hustle
for the Raiders.
Nice hustle by Cuesta's libero, Vanessa. Unable to keep that ball on our side, on Cuesta's side, and Moorpark was able to take advantage of that.
Tessa the serve over the net for the Raiders. Maddie Honeycutt with the swing. Touch and out of bounds on the Raiders side. Another kill from Maddie Honeycutt as she exits the backcourt to serve.
Maddie's moving the ball around. Hard angle, now going high line on those shots. She's moving the ball, keeping the defense guessing. See how she does in the back row now.
Cuesta leads at 12-5. Serve is over the net. Pass and tipped over by the Raiders. Net called on the Raiders. Another point Cuesta. Cuesta leads at 13-5.
Again, their serve's going to number 17. And Cuesta's able to take advantage of that.
Set is over the net by Maddie Doug. Ooh, hard swing by number 17, Lily.
That was a smart play.
A
smart play by Lily. She was instead of trying to make a perfect pass, she just put high and off the net. Setter was able to get her feet to the ball and give her a positive set to swing, and Lily put it away. That might help get her to get out of the serving funk.
The libero Whitney Guthrie with a serve over the net. It's passed up and hit by Cuesta for a point. Out of bounds by the Raiders.
Cuesta setter using the back one, or the red they call it, keeping the defense guessing. Even though she had 2 blockers up, she was still able to push that ball through there.
Gracie Howley back to serve for the Cougars. Cougars lead at 14-6. Hard serve over. Passed.
Ooh, nice hustle. Nice hustle,
Wow.
Moorpark.
Incredible play by Lily.
Ooh.
And a block. Not sure if that was number 12, Megan Wall, or Kelly Cashman for the Raiders, but
Yeah,
a combined effort,
that was
a block and a point for the Raiders.
That was good hustle by them, and then started off with a tough serve, but Moorpark didn't give up.
Number 4, Elena Lava, serve for the Raiders over the net, passed. You got a free ball over the net by the Cougars. Sets up for the Raiders. And blocked into the net on the Cougar side. Point Moorpark. Moorpark serve. 8 serving 14. Cougars still lead it.
So Maddie's in the back row for Cuesta, and number 17 Lily's in the front row for Moorpark, and it seems to be this is kind of the switch in there.
Hard serve long by Elena Lava, number 4. Point Cuesta. 15-8. The Cougars lead. Number 14, Megan Krause, checks into the game in the front row here for Cuesta. And we have number 4, the setter, Erin Desjardins, serving. Pass for the Raiders set to Lily on this side, and it's in on Cuesta's left side.
Yeah, Lily's putting balls away.
Yes.
She's hitting around that block and challenging that block. The serve was, or the pass was good enough that they could get a good swing out of it.
For Moorpark, Lily's back to serve. Number 17, Lily Karmanukin. Ball's over.
Well, that's a tight set.
And
Oh, look at that.
long pass back over the net to the Raiders side by Cuesta, but hit out of bounds by number 18, Carrie Esef of Moorpark.
Cuesta's setter was very fortunate in that. That was a really tight set, and hopefully we won't see more of that.
Nancy Andrade back to serve for the Cougars. It's over, pass, tight pass, tipped over by the setter. Blocked back over by the Cougars. Number 14 up for the kill, but blocked by the Cougars, number 14, Megan Krause. Point Cuesta.
Solid net play by Cuesta, being disciplined, going up with the setter, knowing that the setter's front row, and then moving outside and sealing that block so that the ball can't get out.
Nancy Andrade with the serve, long, out of bounds for the Cougars. Point Moorpark.
Cuesta wants to put this game away. They're going to have to make their serves. That's at least 3 missed serves this game, even though they're up by 7. That's 3 points they left off the board.
Carrie Esef back to serve for the Raiders. Cuesta leading the match 17-10. Tip over in the middle. Bad communication maybe there about Moorpark letting the tip drop.
Yeah, that's what we call the campfire. Everyone's around the campfire watching the fire. McKeown was able to get the tip right over the block, right into that spot.
Let me explain a little bit of the heat here in the gym. The libero back to serve for Cuesta. Willie with the hit over the net. Cuesta pass set. Maddie. Oh, another net by the Cougars. Excuse me, by Moorpark.
Yeah.
The setter, number 1, and the Raiders take another timeout. Cuesta leads at 19-10.
It's interesting that Maddie's choosing that hard angle. She has the setter massive. It's interesting that Maddie's using that hard angle. She has Madison Fuller, who's a shorter blocker in front of her. The line might be more of an option there, but she's still getting a lot of kills off that. And it looks like Moorpark may have made an adjustment on there. The libero came over there and picked up that ball, but fortunately for Cuesta, Moorpark was in the net and they were able to get the point. That wasn't up.
No problem.
So we'll see if Cuesta is able to keep the momentum after this timeout. That's the second timeout by Moorpark. They're out of timeouts for the rest of the match.
Cuesta leading in 19-10 in the first match. The libero Vanessa Nebelbar back to serve for the Cougars.
I think this is Cuesta's their stronger front line.
Serve is over. It's up by the Raiders and set. And the kill is in by number 14, Janessa Valawaga.
Yeah, good turn by Jessica. The set's inside, and she has a lot of room for that line. Cuesta's setter, Aaron's going to have to stay disciplined to maybe take some heat from that hitter.
Madison Fuller, the setter for the Raiders, back to serve. Aggressive serve over the net, but passed. Set and down again. Another touch and out of bounds by the Raiders.
Yeah.
Didn't see who swung on that one, but
that
point Cougars.
I believe that was Maddie again with the pass and the swing. Again, she's challenging the block, showing a lot of moxie and a lot of tools using there.
Vanessa McAllister, the serve for the Cougars. Offset pass, Moorpark couldn't handle. Point Cougars. Cougars lead at 21-11. Mary McAllister back to serve again. Number 11, Hallie Perkins, into the game for number 17, Lily Karmanukin.
This will be interesting. This is 17 has been the primary target for Cuesta serves, so it'll be interesting to see who they go out now. A little bit of a captain snafu as the captain left the court.
Mary with the serve pass for number 11, tight into the net.
Yeah.
Go back and forth here. Maddie Honeycutt up with the hit, and it's on that left side again. The libero couldn't handle it.
Yeah. You know, and it's interesting. They went after 11, who just came into the game, and she, got the ball up, but it still wasn't good enough for the setter to get her feet to the ball. And Cuesta was able to get a swing, and Moorpark hasn't.
Cuesta leads at 22-11. Mary McAllister with the serve. Over the net to number 11. Another pass by the libero to number 12 here, and number 12, Megan Wall.
With the long hit
Hits it out long. Another point for the Cougars. 23-11, Cuesta leads it in the first match.
Cuesta's serving is doing the job. They're getting Moorpark's offense out of balance, and Moorpark's not able to run an offense. It's kind of just outside.
Murray with the serve. Pass up by the Raiders, set on the right side. Hit up. And with the set and a tip that falls short onto the Cougar side. Point Moorpark.
I like that idea. It's just the execution wasn't there as the set kind of trailed into the net. Middle hitter had nothing else to do, but you've got to get that ball over the net, especially when you want to finish these games off.
Number 19, Tessa Tafurian to serve for the Raiders. In for number 14, Janessa Valawaga.
Nice swing by
Maddie. Another kill in the middle of the court between the defense on the Raiders side.
You like to see that aggressiveness. A lot of players will just free ball that ball over there because they're out of position, but Maddie got her feet to the ball and got a good positive swing over the net. Moorpark is still on their heels.
Game point here for the Cougars as they lead at 24-12. Maddie Honeycutt with the serve. Pass set on the Raiders side. A little tight. The tip. We have a net.
Oh, we got a replay action going on here.
She was under, she was in the middle, but she did not.
So it looked like possibly might have been under the hitter, but might have been a wrong call. Ref immediately recognizes error, and we call for a replay here.
Replay. Maddie Honeycutt with the serve. And it's just over the net.
Tough serve, tight set. Nice play by Hallie to get that ball over.
And with the set to the left side, hit the libero, balls up, set on the Raiders side.
That's in.
And down. Number 11, Hallie Perkins with the kill for the. Sorry, number 8, excuse me, Amanda Romaine.
Right.
Kill for the Raiders.
So Cuesta has at least 11 opportunities to get a side out right here. So let's see if they can do it quickly and get out of this match.
Libero Whitney Guthrie for the Raiders, serve over the net.
Nice up by the libero.
Nice up by the libero, beautiful. And it's down again on the Cougar side. Point Moorpark. Moorpark trailing 14-24.
Megan Wall with a big swing for them. Let's see if this continues.
Libero Whitney Guthrie with the serve again. It's up on the Cougar side and set. And
Nice.
couldn't handle the hit.
That was Gracie with
Ball
another
out.
back set.
Cougars win the first match 25-14.
Nice shot by Cuesta. Cuesta got swept the last match
Yeah.
in Moorpark, so for them to come out and win this one fairly easily was, that's a good sign for Cuesta and for Coach Meyer. Let's see if they can keep the momentum going into the second game. Coach Black has some thinking to do. Lily on the outside was getting served a lot of balls and was unable to keep their offense in there. And number 11, Hallie Perkins, came in and settled down a little bit. Passing still wasn't as solid as they probably wanted. So I'm curious to see if they keep that lineup in there.
Moorpark is a high caliber team. I imagine they'll be able to make some adjustments.
Right, they're able to draw from the Ventura and LA area, and they have a bigger bench than Cuesta does. But Cuesta maximized all their players in that last game. Maddie Honeycutt was big for them with moving the ball around, and then number 18 Grace Howley in the middle, running the back slides and the back ones, was very effective. It's curious to see if they keep doing that or if they're going to mix up their offense a little bit more.
The serving for the Cougars also seemed to throw the Raiders off a bit, regardless of missing. I think it was 3 serves the Cougars had missed in that match.
That's what I had down there, and that serving was very key. It definitely, it wasn't the high attractive jump serves or anything, but they were effective float serves that just kept moving and dropping. Moorpark's serve receive had struggled with it, and the setter wasn't able to get to the ball as effective as they probably wanted, which slowed down their offense. Weren't able to run the middle nearly as much, and the Cougars block was able to form up and put up a solid block. They got some good blocking points there, and their defense was able to set it behind there. So I'm curious to see what Coach Black does with his Raider lineup next match.
This could turn out to be a very interesting game between the Moorpark Raiders and these Cuesta Cougars.
Yeah, we've got a lot of fans out here also. They're excited to see this. What's Coach Meyer saying to their team? What are the secret notes?
If I were to take a guess on how I know Coach Meyer, I think Coach Meyer is going to tell them to keep the intensity up and keep consistent.
Yeah.
They came out. They didn't look back in this first match.
No, they
did not look back at all.
They took advantage of it. Moorpark started the game with a missed serve, and Cuesta took advantage of that and rode with it. So I was really impressed with how Cuesta played.
And Cuesta just won the first match 25-14 quite decidedly against the Moorpark Raiders, as the second game here is set to begin.
Well, I already noticed that number 11, Hallie Parker's still in for Moorpark.
Nancy Andrade, number 3 for the Cougars, back to serve. To start game 2 here between Moorpark and Cuesta. Serve is up and over. Pass, hit, tip, and the libero Vanessa Nevilleberg couldn't get to the ball. Point Moorpark.
It's good again, a good solid block up there. The libero needs to run that ball down. That should be an easy pickup there. They will get it as the game progresses, I'm assuming.
Fun fact: this is the first time the Cougars have trailed in the game today.
Yeah. Let's see if they how long it lasts for. Oh, good.
Great pass, great set. Just a little long on the hit. Number 12, Callie McCune, hit it out long for the Cougars. Point Moorpark. Moorpark leads it 2-0 here in game 2.
Like seeing the variety in the offense there. Callie didn't run a 3 or wasn't set a 3 last game, so they're already changing things up, keeping Moorpark defense on their toes.
Carrie Esseff with the serve for the Raiders. Passes up by the Cougars, and it's in. Maddie Honeycutt. Another kill for the Cougars. Finding the hole there on the backside for the Raiders.
Yeah, moving the ball around. Let's see if Cuesta can get some other hitters to help her out also.
Libero Vanessa Nevillebird back to serve for the Cougars. It's up by Moorpark. Blocked by Morgan Krause.
And Gracie Howley.
Hit back over for Moorpark out. Another point for Cuesta.
Good solid block out there.
Game is tied 2-2. Cuesta with the serve. Long by Vanessa. The libero for Cuesta. Point Moorpark. Number 12, Megan Wall checking into the game for number 4, Elena Laba for the Raiders. The setter, number 1, Madison Fuller, back to serve for the...
Yeah, Vanessa getting a little too excited. Hit the ball a little long there. Nice coverage.
Pass is tight into the net. Hit back down by Moorpark for a point. Moorpark leads it 4-2.
Moorpark's coming out a little bit more spunk this game.
Nancy Andrade with the pass. Maddie Honeycutt up to hit. It's handled this time by Moorpark. Sets up. Dug by Nancy Andrade by the Cougars. Up for Morgan Krause. And
tight ball.
Back and forth here at the net. Pass back over by the Cougars. Moorpark on the attack. And it's down. Number 12, Megan Wall with the kill.
Megan coming out on that backside, hitting straight down. That was a very good swing by her, probably building up her confidence on there. Cuesta is continuing to play scrappy.
Moorpark leads at 5-2. Attack by Cuesta, handled by Moorpark. And attack by Moorpark, blocked at the net, but up by Moorpark. A block by number 18, Gracie Howley for the Cougars.
Yeah, Gracie, seeing that was a tight set, was able to and just waited for Megan to tip it, and she just put it back down.
Mary McAllister checks in for Cuesta for Morgan Krause. Mary back to serve. Cuesta trails 3-5. Short serve, and hit out long by the Raiders.
Again, the serve is putting Moorpark out of system, and their hitters aren't able to keep the ball in the court. Cuesta's taking advantage of that.
Mary McAllister back to serve for the Cougars as they trail 4-5 here in game 2. Serve is over. Handled by Moorpark. The attack on the right side. Dug by Nancy Andrade.
Honeycutt with the left-handed tip over the block.
Maddie Honeycutt. Left-handed on the left side.
You know, she's working hard getting off the net, getting back up, and being available for transition. It's exciting to see the young players putting that effort in, and she's being rewarded with it.
Maddie Honeycutt, a freshman out of Arroyo Grande, California.
Yep.
Local player delivering right now for the Cougars.
Yep. Moorpark able to attack the middle on that one and got some luck on there.
Point Moorpark on that last play as they lead at 6-5 over the Cougars. Couple substitutions for the Raiders as number 19 is back. Tessa Tafuri to serve. Tight pass. Pushed over by the setter, Erin Desjardins, but blocked by Moorpark and down.
Yeah, that's Vanessa's had some tight passes here. Erin, the setter, tried to push it over, but Moorpark was ready.
Moorpark serve is long, hits it out for the Cougars.
That's big. That lets Cuesta off the ropes, and they're able to get back in there. Maddie's getting ready to serve. It'll be interesting to see if Cuesta can find someone else to put some balls down to help Maddie out, especially when she's in the back row.
Cuesta trails 6-7 as Maddie serves it over, handled by the Raiders. Up number 17, Lily.
Ooh, that's a tight set.
Tight set on the Cougars. Smacked back down by the Moorpark Raiders. Number 12, Megan Wall.
Yeah. Erin needs to just push her middle out of the way and get her hands on the ball.
Moorpark leads at 8-6 here in game 2. Number 15, Whitney Guthrie with the serve. Mishandled by the Cougars. Point Moorpark.
That was Honeycutt. That's one of her few errors so far in this game.
Acknowledging. It's her bad. Libero back to serve again, just over the net, and another tight pass by Maddie on the Cougars side. It's another point Moorpark as they lead at 10-6.
So you can see already that Coach Meyer's out there. There's 2 short serves there, and she quickly adjusts the serve-receive formation to attack it. Moorpark counterattacks it with a deep serve that time, moving things around.
Deep serve, number 19, Mary McAllister couldn't handle it. Timeout by the Cougars as Moorpark leads at 11-6 here in game 2.
It's a good timeout for Cuesta.
Yeah.
They're playing tough, but Moorpark has shown a little bit more intensity this round. They're a little bit more vocal. They're gaining that momentum. So hopefully with this timeout that can kind of stall that momentum and Cuesta can get it back.
Cuesta's hanging in there with them pretty well.
They are.
I would say.
And then something we have to keep watching as the game progresses is that Honeycutt's in the back row, and she's been their most consistent offensive player. And so when she's in the back row, somebody needs to come up for Cuesta and put some balls away. We've used Gracie in the middle on the back slide or the back one, and we can see if we can get our passes so we can keep utilizing that.
Number 20, Savannah Bona, has checked into the game for the Cougars.
Yeah, she needs to be more of a presence. She had a couple of swings last game, but generally it's been Maddie carrying the Cuesta players. We need to find some other offensive players, but it all starts with a pass. And if Moorpark's able to move the serves around, Cuesta needs to adjust quickly and get a good platform and put that ball up so that Aaron can get a decent set. Glad to see that Moorpark has appeared to have woken up after that first game.
Whitney Guthrie, the libero for the Raiders, with the serve. Pass up, and Savannah with the pound. Hit, blocked again, and a lot of work here at the net for Cuesta, but it falls on their side. Point Moorpark. They lead at 12-6.
Yeah.
Whitney Guthrie, the libero for the Raiders, with the serve. Over the net and in on the baseline. Close ball.
Yeah, must have hit the back end of that line. Cuesta was kind of hoping that it'd be out.
13-6, the Raiders lead it over the Cougars. Whitney Guthrie with the serve. Over the net, passed, set into the middle and tipped over by the Cougars. Handled easily by Moorpark. Tight angle here.
Ball control. The setter's not able to get that second contact. Whoever's jumping in the set needs to be able to put a hittable ball up. Doesn't need to be perfect. Just something that Savannah can go up there and get her hand wrapped around.
Served by the Raiders. It's up. Back row attack by the Cougars, and it falls. Maddie Honeycutt from the left side, from the right side, from the middle. Right-handed, left-handed.
And back row. And she's playing well and she's doing the little things, but if Cuesta wants to put away Moorpark and get back into this game, we need other people to step up and put some balls down.
Number 18, Gracie Howley, back for the Cougars serving. Hard serve over the net, handled by the Raiders. Sets up the attack.
Nice pickup.
And with the pass out to Savannah.
Kind of with a deep cross court.
Got a double. Is that a double?
Yeah, it was a double. It was a lift on the setter going over on 2, trying to be sneaky with it, but Callie was there and ready for it, and that's good. I just see her get involved in the offense now too.
Gracie Howley serving for the Cougars as they trail 8-14 here in game 2. Block on the left side here by Savannah Bona for the Cougars, and hit wide out by the Raiders. Another point, Cuesta.
Another hitting there by Moorpark. Notice that Lily is back in the game, front row. Served her a couple of times already. Let's see if they'll continue.
Gracie Howley with the serve for the Cougars.
Nice deep float, moving that ball around. It's a free ball. It's an opportunity
Free
for
ball
Cuesta
by
to
the
take
Raiders.
advantage of it.
Oh, good save by the Cougars. Raiders have the ball. And it's put down by Kerry Essef for the Raiders.
Cuesta was very fortunate there. It was a good opportunity to go to Cali, but the set was a little slow. Fortunate that the ref saw Moorpark touch that ball on the block.
Moorpark leads 15-9, number 4. Elena Laba with the serve. Pass up by Cuesta. Back row set. Hit over, handled by the Raiders. Tight set, tipped over it on the ground. Point Moorpark. 16-9. Moorpark leads it over the Cougars.
Cuesta has a fight on their hands, and they've got to step up and start wanting this a little bit more. Ooh.
Aggressive serve into the net, but over and onto the floor. Point for the Raiders. Aggressive serve there by number 4, Elena Laba.
Yeah,
Pays off.
Yeah, taking advantage of the tape.
Another aggressive serve into the net, but not quite enough behind it as it falls on the Raider side for point for the Cougars. Number 14, Morgan Krause checks into the game for number 19, Mary McAllister. Erin Desjardins, the setter, serving for the Cougars as they trail 10-17.
Nice serve, nice deep serve. It got the Moorpark offense out of the rhythm already.
Tip over on the Cougars, handled. Savannah Bona up for the kill, and it's shanked off the back wall by the Raiders.
Savannah putting the ball away. I can hear Moorpark calling out angle. They know where she's going with the ball, but she went hard angle off the right side blocker. Fortunately for her, it's their setter, who's not the tallest player. She used that to her advantage.
Erin Desjardins back for the Cougars to serve. Long point for the Raiders.
I understand trying to be aggressive and going after it, but Cuesta's doing well just getting the serve in and moving it. They don't need to be putting heat on that ball. A little too much for Erin right there.
Moorpark leads at 18-11. Number 11 for the Raiders, Hallie Perkins with the serve. On the right side, Savannah Bona. Hit out wide on the left side of the Raiders. Point Moorpark as they lead at 19-11.
Yeah, a lot of talking going on by both sides. You can hear the players that aren't actually touching the ball, but still talking out, helping out their hitters, what's open, what's not open.
Good save there by Morgan Krause as the set is a little too high for the cross.
Oh. Inside. You can hear a lot of talking on both sides. A lot of ball movement. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Got a net by number 14, Megan Krause of the Cougars. Point Moorpark. They lead it 20-11. Timeout by the Cougars.
Yeah, the intensity of this game is starting to pick up, and you can hear it. I like that the Cuesta setter is trying to get Cali involved in the middle, but there's connection is just not there yet. And so Cuesta's working hard, trying to find another avenue to get some kills other than Maddie Honeycutt. And Moorpark's, they're being scrappy or playing with a little bit more intensity, getting those balls up, and they're able to put the balls down and keep the pressure on Cuesta.
Cuesta trying to hang in game 2 here with the 9th ranked Moorpark Raiders. They're currently trailing 11-20 here in game 2. They won the first match 25-14, find themselves in a little bit of a situation here. Game 2.
Definitely pushing Moorpark, giving them what they have here. Last time they played, Moorpark swept them in 3 games, so Cuesta's already bounced back and shown some strong improvement after winning that first game.
Number 11, Hallie Perkins back to serve for the Raiders. Passes up, set. Morgan Krause with the tip, handled by the Raiders. The attack on the Raiders is dug by the setter. Erin Desjardins hit back over. Raiders side, handling it.
Nice hustle by Cuesta.
Morgan Krause with the save. put back comes up short by number 14, Janessa Valaga.
I can hear Cuesta's players calling out the open areas for their hitters to hit, and that's definitely helping out, giving the hitter another eye out there on the court.
Nancy Andrade with the serve for the Cougars. Not quite enough as it bangs into the net and falls on their side. Moorpark leads at 21-12, game 2.
That's not what Cuesta needs right now. They need to get those serves in. They don't have to do anything special with it. Just get it in, and they've been very effective.
Aggressive serve by the
number 18.
by the Raiders, number 18, Carrie Essef. Aggressive serve. The pass up into the rafters of the building here bounced around a little bit and fell to the floor here for the Cougars. Moorpark leads at 22-12. Carrie Essef back to serve for Moorpark. The serve is over and Shank.
That's a tough serve
off the
for them.
backside by Vanessa.
Looks like Moorpark's going after the split between the libero and Honeycutt. This is when Honeycutt's in the front row, and there's anticipation. She's probably going to get most of the sets here. So this might be Moorpark's way of kind of getting her out of system.
Moorpark leads 23-12. Morgan Kraus the attack, handled by the Raiders. Number 14, Janessa Valaga on the left side, mishandled by the Cougars.
Nice.
Game point here for the Raiders, 24-12.
Nice line swing there by Moorpark. Aaron just opened up a little bit to the outside versus opening it back into the court, bringing that ball back in here.
Carrie Essef, number 18 for the Raiders. Maddie Honeycutt off her arms and off the back wall to put an end to game 2 as the Moorpark Raiders take it 25-12. Quite the opposite score there here in the second game. Moorpark came out, made great adjustments it seemed, and pretty much took that one easily.
Yeah, there was a little bit more spirit on Moorpark that time. I don't know if they were anticipating to just kind of roll over Cuesta, but they definitely came out with more of an intensity, more of a sense of urgency to finish this game. Cuesta tried to battle back there, and they were doing some good things. I think too many missed serves, and not having another option other than Maddie Honeycutt is going to limit Cuesta here. Not much different in either one of the lineups, but Cuesta's definitely putting up a fight and not making this easy for Moorpark, which is good. And it helps having all the fans there cheering, chanting, and trying to get into Moorpark's head. But when Moorpark's in system, they have some big hitters that are hitting over the block and putting the ball away.
Moorpark ranks number 9 in the state. They're 5-0 in conference play.
And Cuesta's second place in that conference, and they're showing that they're a legitimate contender. Coach Meyer needs to get a little bit more magic, get a little bit more spirit out of her girls to stay on it. In a matchup of these two different styles of teams, Cuesta needs to play almost nearly perfect to keep up with Moorpark. Moorpark has some big hitters and a little bit more athleticism. Cuesta plays a more team-oriented, where everybody has to be in their position, has to be operating on the same page. Too many missed serves, too many hitting errors that kind of limited Cuesta's effectiveness. Moorpark's able to overcome those, putting more balls down and jumping on that.
Moorpark, I would say, too, has 2 to 3 good options between number 14, Janessa Valaga, number 17, even in the front row, Lily Carmanian, and number 12, Megan Wall. All seem to be getting good looks and getting some power behind their swings.
Right, they're very athletic, and they reach higher. That you can't really coach or teach height. Yeah. If you're tall, you're tall.
Tell me about it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, spoken from the short crew over here. So it's working in their advantage. It's a fun match. I'm looking forward to game 3 and seeing some a little bit more spunk. By no means has Cuesta given up or conceded this match. They are fighting hard. I would like to see Cuesta's offense become have a little bit more variety instead of a quick and an outside, but maybe running some threes in the middle, getting some back sets, moving that ball around so that they can attack the weaknesses in Moorpark's defense.
The Cuesta Cougars hosting the Moorpark Raiders here. Game 3 set to begin. It's number 11, Hallie Perkins with the serve, handled by the Cougars. Back onto the Raiders side. Dug by Maddie Honeycutt.
Oh, that did touch. Oh, that looked like it didn't clear.
But regardless, hit out by the Raiders and point Cougars.
Yeah, nice job by the Cougars. Handling that ball very well from the first contact, getting that first point. It seems so far the team to get the first point has gone on to not relinquish their lead. Let's see if that continues.
The Cougars took game 1, 25-14. Moorpark came back in game 2 and won it decidedly 25-12. Wow. Janessa Valaga with the power here on the left side, mishandled by Cuesta. Game is tied 1-1.
It's a nice swing by Janessa. Cuesta's giving up a lot of line, letting their setter know, hey, you gotta dig this ball. It's coming to you, and she's bringing it. So let's see if there's any adjustments made, or if Cuesta can serve him out of system.
Number 18, Carrie Essa with the serve out long. Point Cuesta. They lead it 2-1 here in game 3.
Serving errors again.
Libero comes in for the Raiders. Number 15, Whitney Guthrie. Number 18, Carrie Essa out. And Cuesta's libero, Vanessa, back to serve into the net. Point Raiders.
Right side.
Number 12, Megan Wall checking into the game for number 4, Elena Laba for Moorpark. As number 1, the setter, Madison Fuller, is back to serve.
I know Vanessa's trying to be aggressive there, but you just need to get your serve in.
Pass over by Maddie Honeycutt, but hit into the net by number 12, Megan Wall.
Maddie is on fire. Doesn't matter what she does to touch the ball, she's going to get a kill off of it. It's generally not a good idea to free ball the first ball over that tight to a big hitter like Megan Wall is, but Maddie's taking advantage of that.
Well, maybe she did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Number 19, Mary McAllister served for the Cougars, handled by the Raiders, and up for Janessa Balwaga. Tight set by the Cougars, and it falls to the floor. Another point for the Moorpark Raiders. A couple substitutions here for the Raiders. Number 19, Tessa Tafuri back to serve. Also in is number 17, Lily Carmagnon. Maddie Honeycutt attacking the left side of the Raiders again, but finally hits one out.
That's going to that well of the hard angle. It's been her shot, and it's still open. She's put a little too much English on that.
Moorpark leads at 4-3. Attacked by the Cougars. Put back by Moorpark, mishandled by the Cougars. Point Moorpark. They lead at 5-3 here in game 3.
I like Aaron, the setter for Cuesta, going in the middle on an off ball like that, but middle hitter needs to be ready for that and get her elbow up, ready to swing at that ball.
Serve is over and passed up by Honeycutt. Set back to her on the outside, and we have a net.
Even when Moorpark's able to dig, Maddie, she's still able to pull the blocker into the net and get the net call in there.
Number 12, Megan Wall into the net for the Raiders. Point Cuesta. Cuesta trails 4-5 here in game 3. Maddie Honeycutt back to serve for the Cougars. Head coach Adam Black asking for clarification there on the net. Maddie with the serve. Pass by the libero for the Raiders. Set. Hit, block, and out.
No, I believe that was in. I believe Megan Wall, number 12 for Moorpark, off the rebound of the block, was able to put the ball away Very,
sorry.
very good athletic play by her.
That was in. That's my bad. So, tip back over. And little miscommunication on the Cougars side. Another point for the Raiders. They lead 7-4 as the libero Whitney Guthrie is set to serve.
Savannah trying different things to get a kill over there. Unfortunate ball fell in there. Cuesta needs to clean up their first ball contact. Their serve receive is kind of shaky right now, which is limiting their offense. And Moorpark's taking advantage of it.
Cuesta mishandles the ball again. Moorpark leads at 8-4. Whitney Guthrie with the serve over. Pass set. Handled by Moorpark. Number 17. Lily Karmakian with the attack. Hits it out.
Cuesta's fortunate there. That wasn't their ideal first swing. But Moorpark with the hitting error allows Cuesta to kind of stop the bleeding a little bit and get a point.
Number 18, Gracie Howley, serving for the Cougars as they trail 5-8 here in game 3. Aggressive serve pays off.
Yeah. And again, it's they're just getting the ball in the court, making the passer having to move their feet, move their platform. Going after Lily again.
Moorpark mishandles the serve. Cuesta 6, serving 8. Gracie Howley, ball over the handled by Moorpark, set to the right side. Megan Wall. Cuesta got a hand on it, couldn't get quick enough to get the ball back up as it falls on their side. Moorpark leading 9-6. Number 4, Elena Lava back to serve for the Raiders.
It's a solid block again. The Cuesta defenders need to run that ball down and pick it up. It's another good opportunity for them.
Serve is over. Tight pass and out on the other side of the net. Another mishandled pass by the Cougars.
They just need to settle down. They're trying to get a little too perfect on the pass. Just get it high and off the net. Allow Erin to get her feet to the ball and give them a solid set.
Set off the net, but over and mishandled by the Cougars. Another point for the Raiders as they lead 11-6 now in game 3.
Moorpark putting the pressure on there, doing what Cuesta was doing in the first game, just serving them tough balls.
Lena Lava to serve for the Raiders. Over, handled by the libero Vanessa. Savannah Bona with the attack. Pass, tight set by the Raiders. Little back and forth here at the net. Cougars on the attack. Moorpark now on the attack.
Nice block, good form block right there. See if they do it again.
A lot of back and forth here. The Cougars with the ball. Tip over, handled by Moorpark. The ball is up. Set to the left side. Push back over to Moorpark. And still going here. And Cougars mishandle outside the baseline. Had to cover some ground there.
Yeah, nice hustle by Cuesta going to the back 40 there to get a hand on that ball.
6-12, Moorpark leaves it.
Cuesta's fighting. They're getting, you get a little bit more offense. Erin's trying to work the middle, but there's still not a good connection between her and McEwen.
I said that backwards. 12-6, Moorpark leads it. Coach Meyer asking for some clarification here on
checking on their players.
Good pass there great pass by the libero Vanessa. And Erin Desjardins, the setter for Cuesta, with some trickery, finds a hole on the Moorpark side. Megan Krause for the Cougars checks in for number 19, Mary McAllister.
A great option by Erin.
Cougars trail 7-12. Erin Desjardins, the setter for the Cougars, back to serve. Erin, also a local player out of Morro Bay here, second year. Is that right? 5'8" sophomore out of Morro Bay for the Cougars.
Yeah, good serve and got what they wanted. They got the tip over there. Just actually probably didn't need to go to a dive there. Kept her feet and popped that thing up, and it dropped a little bit slower than she anticipated.
side out for Moorpark. They lead it 13-7. Number 11, Hallie Perkins with the serve, handled by the Cougars up on the right side by Savannah Bona with a hard hit, but a great dig by the libero.
Moorpark handled that fairly easily. Nice swing by Savannah, bringing some heat, and then Moorpark brought it right back.
Savannah Bona called for the net on the Cougar side, but I think regardless, Janessa Valaga would have gotten that ball down.
Right.
And Moorpark comes back with a long serve, side out Cougars as they trail 8-14. Number 3, Nancy Andrade back to serve for the Cougars.
This should be a good time for Cuesta to come back up. They have a fairly formidable line with Honeycutt and McCune and Kraus in the front row. Let's see if they can get a solid block up there with Moorpark's only 2 hitters. There, just like that.
Seemed to get a hand on that, but mishandled by Moorpark. Side out.
So Moorpark has their setter and 2 hitters, so they're limited on the hitting, whereas Cuesta has three of their bigger players in the front row. They should be able to take advantage of it this time.
Nancy Andrade with the serve. Cuesta trails 9-14.
Nice serve.
Passes up, great set, tight. Blocked by number 14, Megan Kraus, but handled by the Raiders back on Cuesta's side. Maddie Honeycutt with the attack, and another kill on the left side.
Yeah, this is what they're looking for. Good, strong, active hands by the opposite there, Morgan Kraus, keeping that ball back on Moorpark's side, and then, as they've been doing all day, Honeycutt with the kill.
She's able to power it through the block on the left side there, the Raiders. Nancy Andrade with the serve. Moorpark on the attack, and a pretty decisive kill there by number 18, Carrie Esser for Moorpark. On the right side. Moorpark leads it 15-10 here in game 3.
Yeah, that was it's a good set by Madison Fuller, going against the flow, giving it back where she's only had a one-on-one option. Ooh. That serve looked a little long.
Nancy Andrade put a hand on it. Back to Moorpark, and Janessa Valaga again for the Raiders puts it away. 16-10. They lead in game 3, and Coach Meyer gathering her team here on the sideline. Another timeout by the Cougars.
Janessa, Moorpark running a option play there, running a inside tube from their outside hitter, and Janessa was a little early, but her athleticism allowed her to kind of hang in the air, waiting for the set to get to her, and was able to put the ball down. I'm curious to see if Moorpark's going to continue to move their hitters around against Cuesta's block. Morgan Kraus has been doing a good job getting her hands on a lot of those balls, and so Moorpark's way of defeating that would be to move the hitters around away from that block.
Morgan Kraus, 6-foot freshman at Santa Maria, the tallest player here on the Cuesta roster.
Yeah, she's showing it. She's touched a lot of balls on the block. I'm impressed with her active hands and keeping it on Moorpark's side. Again, another local product out of Santa Maria. Coach Meyer's doing a really good job with recruiting in this area, trying to keep some of these players here local, bring them to Cuesta, and continuing to turn out a quality team here.
Number 18, Carrie Essef, out of the timeout. Serving for the Raiders as they lead 16-10 in game 3 against the Cougars. Ball's over. Pass by the Cougars set.
There you go. That's some
nice
good contact.
Play. Callie McCune, the good hit. Great dig on Moorpark's side. They're on the attack, and Callie comes back with the block.
There you go. That might we need to get Callie up and going. That was a good connection. Even though the Moorpark was able to dig the ball, it's still a good connection. It's a confidence builder for Erin and Callie. And then Callie followed it up with a solid solo block.
Libero Vanessa Nevilleberg back to serve for the Cougars.
We had a saying when Coach Nystrom was around, and too cute. That serve was too cute. When we were
Little
trying.
floater into the net there. Point for Moorpark as they lead 17-11.
Nice pass.
Blocked by Moorpark.
And then Maddie Honeycutt off the block, off the out-of-system play there.
Point for the Cougars. Number 19, Mary McAllister checks in for number 14, Megan Krause, and Mary heads back to serve for the Cougars. They trail 12-17.
I don't know what Coach Meyer said in that timeout, but the Cuesta Cougars have kind of had a little more giddy up in their step afterwards, moving the ball around on the offense. See if it continues.
Attacked by the Raiders, mishandled by the Cougars. Raiders lead at 18-12.
A little communication error there between Honeycutt and Mary, it looked like.
Substitutions for the Raiders. Number 19, Tessa Tafuri to serve. Maddie Honeycutt in on the left side again. Continues to exploit this left side of the Moorpark defense.
Apparently there's gold in those corners there. Maddie keeps on going afterwards.
13-18. Cuesta trails here in game 3 against the Moorpark Raiders. Maddie Honeycutt with the serve. Over. Great pass. Tight set here. Put down by the Cougars.
Way to be ready for it, Savannah. Tight set, and Savannah was there and was able to put that ball down. Those are what we need. Cuesta needs points like that to take advantage of some of those ball handling errors.
Cuesta slowly clawing back into the game, 14-18 as they trail here in game 3. Maddie Honeycutt with the serve, handled by the Raiders up on the left side. And free balled over.
Whoa,
tight
nice
in the back
hustle.
corner. Good back and forth here, tipped by the setter of Cuesta, back over. And
Nice.
falls on the Cougar side.
Nice hustle by both teams there. Mary making the dig on the right back, and then Aaron, the setter, running almost into the bench, getting that ball up there. And Moorpark hustling right afterwards.
Whitney Guthrie, the libero for the Raiders, with the serve is over. The attack on the left side by Maddie is dug by the Raiders. And the net here again by the Cougars, number 20, Savannah Bona. Getting a little too tight.
Yeah, Savannah has an active arm, getting that ball across the net quickly, but Moorpark's able to dig it up and transition.
Number 15, Whitney Guthrie, the libero for the Raiders, with the serve. Short pass, tipped over. Moorpark on the attack. Tipped by Cuesta, pass in the back row. Attack on the front, blocked by Moorpark.
Nice
handled
coverage
by Cuesta. Again, Moorpark with the attack from the left side. Dug by Cuesta up, and a little trickery does not pay off that time as it's hit into the net by Cuesta. They trail 21-14 in game 3 here.
That was a good idea by the setter. Just a little bad execution. Nice dig by Vanessa, the libero, in that deep angle.
Moorpark with the serve. Set by Aaron. The attack dug by Moorpark. Sets up to the left side.
Ooh.
Dug again by Vanessa, the libero for the Cougars. Up tight. Pass handled by Moorpark. They attack on the right side. And gets the ball down between the Cougar defense. Timeout Cougars. Moorpark leads at 22-14 in game 3.
A lot of active movement by both sides. The intensity is there. They're moving their feet to the ball and just keeping the ball alive. That last ball just kind of fell between Vanessa and Honeycutt. Those things can't happen if you want to challenge a state-ranked team. You've got to hit the ground and get that ball up.
Coach Meyer getting a little more animated there on the sideline.
It worked last time.
Engagement here.
The last time out, the Cuesta team came out a little fired up, but it's not translated on the scoreboard as Moorpark's just steadily increasing their point total.
Moorpark leads it here in game 3, 22-14. Game 1, the Cougars took easily, 25-14. Moorpark came back with an equally decisive game, winning that one 22-12. And if Cuesta can't turn it around here shortly, they may be heading into game 4, down 2 games. Ball on Moorpark side.
Wow.
Tipped over by Moorpark.
Nice hustle again.
To the back row, a lot of hustle. Not enough as it falls on the Cougar side. Number 19, Mary McAllister, slow to get up as she's that's probably the 3rd or 4th time I've seen her
Right, she's been
just lay all out there
all
chasing
over,
balls.
all over
Yeah.
the court. Cuesta's limited here. They only have 2 hitters plus the setter. And
Cuesta calling for a touch as the setter hits it out wide. No call.
right, when these passes are tight, that's her only option right now. They're going up against 3 of Moorpark's stronger lineups.
Game point here for Moorpark. The setter, Aaron Desjardins, mishandles the set. Game 3 ends on a double.
25-14. Yeah, that was
25-14. Moorpark takes it.
another ball handling error by Cuesta. It's those little tiny errors that they can't afford against a team with the quality of Moorpark.
Cuesta early in game 3 was hanging in there for a while, and Moorpark, the team that they are, were able to pull away for another win here in game 3.
Yeah, it's Cuesta's giving them a fight. It's the longevity of the game. It's a long ways to 25, and Cuesta's pushing hard, but they have some mental lapse there that, as we saw in that last 2 points, we had a couple ball handling errors that you can't afford against that quality of a team.
Cuesta, I think, also fighting for a potential spot in the playoffs this season. Their overall record 11-6, 4-2 in conference play. This would be a huge win, not just for the morale of the team, but for their playoff chances, I think.
Yeah, I agree. If you can take it, anytime number 2 and number 1 compete, if number 2 has the opportunity to take out the number 1 team in their conference, that looks good for when they start, doing the seedings for playoffs. But you can tell by the Moorpark being ranked number 9 as the number 1 team in the conference, and Cuesta's the number 2 and not even ranked. You can see that there's quite a large disparity between the talent there. But Coach Myers is getting a lot of effort out of her team, and it's
Definitely.
it has to be encouraging for her to see the players not give up and continue to fight against a solid state-ranked team. And it's not that Moorpark is really doing anything to dominate on their side of the ball. It's just a lot of it is just ball handling errors or missed serves. And hate saying it, but when you are playing against a team like that, you can't have those kind of errors.
A little emotion here on the Cuesta side.
That is.
Getting pumped up.
It's good seeing those emotions. You need to see that. This game is a lot of emotion, a lot of momentum. And if you're able to sustain that and keep it, that is beneficial for you. I'm curious to see if they come back out in this 4th game here. Moorpark might overlook them, thinking, hey, they can go home and get out of here. But knowing Coach Myers and the intensity that she brings, she's going to push her team to come out fighting and push us to 5 games.
They've won 1. They're capable of winning 2 more.
Right? Yeah, they've shown it, and putting Moorpark on notice. It doesn't appear that any of the teams have changed their lineups at all. As both teams use their benches extensively, although Moorpark has a little bit more to draw from.
A little more depth, a little more size on the Moorpark side. nonetheless, we saw in game 1, in which Cuesta won pretty easily, that they can hang
Yeah.
here with the state-ranked Moorpark Raiders.
I'm hoping that they come back out and do it and just understand that it's not going to be an easy task, and they have to play together. And that's been the tradition of Cuesta teams, is team-oriented. Savannah and Cali came out a little bit more, got a little bit more activity on the offense, and then Kraus continues to put up a good block to help Honeycutt out.
Nancy Andrade with the serve for the Cougars to start game 1. We have a hit long out the Cuesta baseline, but a touch called on the Cougars. Point Moorpark. Moorpark takes the lead early here, 1-0 in game 4.
By the hair for a little pinky there, I think that hit on Honeycutt.
I didn't see it, but nice handle by the libero. Great hustle by Nancy Andrade. Cuesta keeps it alive. Moorpark on the attack on the left side, and could not handle the kill off the back wall.
Janessa has such a strong approach.
Janessa Logov with the kill.
She comes up there very athletic, and she gets up there and she's able to hang. She has some hops and she hangs, has a little tee, checks the stock market on her paper, and then just puts the ball down. Tough float serve in there.
Great serve on the right side, catches the line.
Yeah.
As the Cougars let it go by.
Honeycutt was confident that the ball was going out, and then last second flew back in.
Number 18, Carrie Essef with the ace for the Raiders. They lead at 3-0 in game 4. Passes up for Maddie on the left side, handled by Moorpark. Not too well as it falls, or goes into the net rather. Point for the Cougars.
Yeah. Moorpark just struggles handling anything that Honeycutt puts over there. It's fun to watch. They do have Moorpark has their setter up in the front row, providing Maddie with a little blocker.
Another kill for, is that Janessa?
That was Janessa again.
Left side.
She's starting to turn it up. Again, she's a very aggressive approach, and it just kind of sits and waits for the.
Jeez.
Uh-oh.
Stray ball here. Down from us. Luckily, didn't hit any of our drinks.
Yeah. Yeah. We hate to ruin this new floor
This
that
isn't
Cuesta
new floor.
put up.
Yeah. It's okay. Rocky has immunity. Where are we?
Number 12
Number
again.
12, Megan Hall with the kill for the Raiders. Raiders lead at 5-1 here in game 2. Moorpark leads it overall 2-1.
And Moorpark's offense isn't anything sneaky or complicated. It's high outside to the 4. It's high outside to the 5. They play it pin to pin, and they just dare you to beat one of their hitters. Of course, as I say that, they run the middle. It's one of the few times. See if they're on a free ball they do it.
Moorpark on the attack. Janessa Valaga, another decisive kill for the Raiders. They lead it 6-1. Number 1 for the Raiders, Madison Fuller, the setter, with the serve. Great serve up by Nancy Andrade. Free ball over the net, back to Moorpark with the attack.
Oh, nice up.
Up by the
Vanessa
libero Vanessa.
There
and
you
a
go.
block. Megan Krause and Gracie Halley with the block for the Cougars. That can be encouraging.
That's a great adjustment. Vanessa was able to dig the ball on Megan, and then they're able to put a block on Janessa. That might start getting into their crawl. Moorpark can start realizing that Cuesta's here to play with them. It's not going to be easy.
The combination of Gracie and Morgan in the front, they're getting a lot of touches there on the attack from Moorpark.
Yes, they are. Let's see what they can do with this free ball here.
Set to the outside. Early. Maddie, long set. And that's just incredible.
Whatever Honeycutt did before this game, she needs to do every time.
Off her fingertips. floating, finds a spot in the Moorpark defense for another kill. Is there such thing, say, as like a cycle
Right.
for kills?
You know, hitting every tool in there.
Great dig by Nancy Andrade for the Cougars.
Off the block there for Honeycutt. Ooh.
And the setter, it's up. It's not. It's down. Finds a hole in the Cougar defense.
One of the few times that Honeycutt hasn't been able to put a ball down. Andrade needs to sell that tip by screaming it's up.
Raiders lead at
Close enough.
7-3 here in game 4. Number 19, Tessa Tafuri with the serve.
Cuesta's still in it.
By Cuesta, slide.
There you go.
Gracie Howley handled by the Raiders. Up by Vanessa, tight into the net. Too tight.
Too tight.
Into the net.
Aaron's not able to make a play on that. Good read by the libero. You know, Coach Meyer has put these players into the position to dig the ball. The blocks funneling that dig towards them. They just need to be able to handle it a little bit better.
Maddie on the left side. Blocked by number 12, Megan Wall, and number 8, Amanda Romaine.
One of the few times that they've been able to stop Honeycutt directly. She looked like she was ready to put that ball down.
From this angle, that was quite the wall that Moorpark put up.
Right.
I don't
Gracie
think
with the tool out of bounds there.
that one did clear. Point for the Cougars. They're trailing 3-9 here in game 4. Maddie Honeycutt back to serve. Number 20, Savannah Bona in for the Cougars in the front row.
Nice serve.
Over. Attack by Moorpark up in the back row. On the left side by Savannah.
Savannah with the sneaky around the block.
Off the hands of the Moorpark defense.
Yeah, that
Point
was,
for the Cougars.
maybe she's been watching Honeycutt a little bit and realized, hey, there are more tools to use in this toolbox.
Yeah. 5-9. Cuesta serving. Short serve. Great. Ace. And number 1, Maddie Honeycutt.
There's another good confidence builder there for Honeycutt. Let's see if they can continue to build on that and build some momentum.
6-9 Cougars trail in game 4. Maddie Honeycutt with the serve. Set is over and a bit long.
Just a tad outside.
Point Moorpark.
Those are tough points. Cuesta's putting some pressure on it. And those missed serves make it easy for Moorpark to side out and get a point and move on. And
The
Moorpark.
libero, number 15, Whitney Guthrie with the serve into the net.
Moorpark's generous in giving it back, though, so that helps.
That's fair. I think that's fair. At least for our sake.
Yeah.
Number 18, Gracie Howley back to serve with the Cougars. They're trailing 7-10 here in game 4.
Nice.
Short serve over the net, handled by
That was libero 15 with the pass, and it looked like number 12, Morgan, with the tool off the block. Savannah needs to seal the net. She's there. She's read it perfectly, just getting her hands over the net to keep that ball on Moorpark's side.
blocked the ball into the hands of the down ref here. Point for
Generally,
The
the down
Raiders.
ref's unable to play.
Ooh, Maddie from the back row. Blocked by number 18, Carrie SF of the Raiders. Raiders up 12-7.
I think the Raiders were ready for that. They're kind of starting to key on Honeycutt a little bit more.
Number 4, Elena Laba for the Raiders with the serve. Mishandled pass by the libero Vanessa onto the floor for the Cougars. 13-7, Moorpark leads it. They also lead, I don't know what to take, what's the term? The match 2-1, is that how it
I believe that's how they say it.
Okay.
I just know there's no like love or anything like that.
Okay. Tight set. Handled by Savannah Bona. Moorpark on the attack. Good adjustment by, is that number 17, Lily there on the left side?
That was a good play by Lily, knowing that the momentum was, defense was anticipating a hard hit and decided to just tip it right over.
Number 2, Christina Canellis checking into the game for number 19, Mary McAllister here for Cuesta. Christina in the back row.
Might have been a little coaching.
And great adjustment.
Coaching plan by Coach Meyer to slow things down without having to call a timeout.
Look at that.
Christina didn't even have to touch the ball.
Christina comes into the game. Moorpark serves it into the net.
Yeah.
Side out.
And then again, we have a very strong front line against
She
two of Moorpark's hitters.
Yeah, up by the setter.
Savannah.
Left side here, Savannah up by number 17. Lily here on Moorpark. The attack into the net, but falls onto the Cuesta side.
Moorpark's getting some advantage of the net there. Hard hitters get the breaks.
Janessa Balwaga checking back in for the Raiders. Number 11, Hallie Perkins back to serve for the Raiders. Raiders lead at 15-8 here in game 4. Lead the match 2-1. Cougars header Aaron DeJardin speaking with the refs.
Sounded like there was some issue underneath the net, and just wanted Cuesta's captain just wanted the refs to be aware of it so that they can keep an eye on it.
Serves over by the Raiders. Pass up by Cuesta. Back set to the right side. Savannah Bono with the kill off the block.
Strong swing by Savannah off the right side. Like to see that. And you see some more of that on the left side. Cuesta's not out of this. They can still push if they get some of their momentum back. They have a very strong front line up against just 2 hitters for Moorpark. Granted, it's 2 of their stronger hitters.
Nancy Andrade with the serve. The attack by Cuesta up by Cuesta. Back row attack handled by Moorpark. Set here to the middle off the block of Cuesta and out of bounds. Point Moorpark.
Cuesta playing tough. They're reading that block. They slowed down Janessa. She was on fire the last time she was in front row.
16-9, Moorpark leads it, game 4. Number 18, Carrie Essa back to serve for the Raiders.
Nice tough serve. Handled well by the libero.
Great set here. And Maddie Honeycutt on the left side, finding that angle again.
Janessa tried to move inside, but she's just a little too shallow. She needs to probably stay a little bit deeper. Better handle of that ball, but they're trying to make some adjustments. See if we can get some points off of Vanessa's serve here with a strong front line by Cuesta.
Cuesta trails 10-16 in game 4. The serve is into the net.
That's unfortunate. She's had a hard serving day. She's dug some balls, but serving hasn't been there for her.
Number 1 back to serve, Madison Fuller for the Raiders. They lead 17-10 here in game 4. Passes up by Nancy Andrade, set to the right side. Morgan cross with the attack and
nice hustle.
Counter. Great hustle.
That was good for Morgan. Nice high contact over the block.
Morgan doing her job as well. Comes in, gets the point.
Yep.
Comes out. Number 19, Mary McAllister back to serve. Cuesta trailing 11-17.
Nice serve by Mary.
Off pass and into the up ref. It goes. Another point for the Cougars.
That's a good sign for Mary. She was coming in off the bench and server before her missed her serve. A lot of pressure on her.
12-17. Cougars serving and trailing here in game 4. Mary McAllister with the serve.
Nice float serve.
Up by Moorpark. Attack on the right side. Guess who?
Yeah. Janessa has definitely stepped up in the whole level this 4th game here. Strong approach. Cuesta was unable to front their hitter, and we saw the results of that.
Tessa Fury back to serve for the Raiders as they lead 18-12. Passes up. Maddie with the attack. Handled by Moorpark. Great block. Maddie Honeycutt and Gracie here on the right side.
Yeah, good.
But put back down by Megan Wall, finding that back corner.
Good solid block. Moorpark's just able to find that back corner. There's gold in that back corner, we've been told by longtime coach, Coach Nystrom. It's a good spot for the hitters to hit. There's generally not much defense in that area. So that was a good swing by him.
I mean, the court is technically a little more gold now in the corners.
Yeah, with Cuesta's new paint scheme, it looks really good. And the Cuesta Cougars are showing not only that the court looks good, but their play has been very well today.
Timeout by the Cougars here as they trail 12-19 in game 4. Got to get it together, I think, quickly.
Yeah, it's Moorpark again is not doing anything very exciting. They're just kind of being steady and consistent, getting 1 or 2 points almost every serve. Cuesta needs to find that momentum. And generally has been starting off their serves. When they've gotten some good tough serves in, made their passers move, their defense is able to either dig the ball or block a ball. Cuesta's going to have to generate some momentum off this serve receive right here.
Number 19, Tessa Fury serving for the Raiders. Over, up, pass to the slide on the right side for the Cougars, handled by Moorpark. Great hit by number 17, Lily Carmagnan.
Another deep swing right there in that corner.
Gets the kill in the back left corner. Moorpark in the lead, 20-12 here in game 4. Lead the match 2-1. Set. Serve is over. Maddie Honeycutt on the side. Not a kill, but a net.
Let's see if Cuesta can use that momentum. That was a good, smart swing by Honeycutt, showing a little bit of power, not just all finesse. She goes back to serve. Let's see if her jump float can generate some points for Cuesta.
Cuesta trails 13-20 here in game 4. Maddie Honeycutt back with the serve. Is over. Moorpark on the attack. Up. Great dig by Vanessa, the libero. Good fight and hustle here by the Cougars as Savannah Bona's attack is blocked, pushed into the back row and mishandled by the Cougars for a point for Moorpark as they lead 21-13 here in game 4.
That's a pretty big block for Savannah to have to hit through. So
Whitney Guthrie, the libero for the Raiders with the serve. Good attack here by the Cougars, but handled by Moorpark back on the Cougar side.
There you go. Nice
Great
hustle.
Look at the angle and wrong side of the antenna. Out. Point Cougars. 14-21. They trail here in game 4.
It's encouraging seeing the middle blocker Gracie getting up in transition and being an option for Cuesta. And maybe that's the spark they need. She goes back to serve.
Number 12, Callie McCune checks into the game in the front row. Gracie Halley back to serve. Moorpark gets it up and into the net. Can't clear a point.
Look at that. That's another break Cuesta needs to take advantage of. Another hitting error for them.
15-21 Cougars trail. The Moorpark Raiders, Gracie Halley with the serve. Floater off the top of the net, out on the left side of the Raiders side.
Not sure what area she was trying to hit on that one. They can side out quickly and get the ball back.
Number 4, Elena Lava serving for the Raiders. They're in the lead 22-15 here in game 4. Maddie Honeycutt from the back row. Tight there, keeping her feet behind that 10-foot line and gets the kill. Number 14, Morgan Kraus checks into the front row here for Cuesta. And the setter, number 4, Aaron, back to serve.
This is an important time right here to get your serve in. This is, again, Cuesta has a big front line that can help out against Moorpark's only 2 hitters.
16-22, the Cougars trail. Tip, can't get there quick enough. By the Cougars, it falls to the floor. Moorpark leads 23-16, and their big hitter is coming back in.
Yeah, it's just interesting that Moorpark's using that tip. They might be seeing something in Cuesta's defense that's preventing them.
Janessa Valaga back into the game for Moorpark, and Cuesta takes another timeout.
So Moorpark's tipped on that left side several times now with some of their different hitters. I'm wondering if Coach Meyer is making some adjustments, maybe, or even reminding her defensive players in that right back to be ready for that tip. Although I haven't really seen Janessa have to tip this game at least, as she's been putting the ball down fairly steadily and hard in the fourth game. But if Cuesta's going to want to take this game to a fifth game, they need to pick it up and get a side out right here.
Quick timeout by the Cougars. Not much to say. No,
just kind of recap it. Looking to see maybe McCune in the middle off of a decent pass here in serve receive.
Cuesta with size now here in the front row. Their three tallest players going up against what looks like trying to match the wall that Moorpark has here on their front row.
Yep. The benefit is that Moorpark setter's in the front row, which means Morgan Kraus might have an advantage here on the 4.
Serve handled by the Cougars.
Nice
Free
tough
ball
play
back
at the
over
net.
by Cuesta. Moorpark on the attack. Through the block, around the block. And not able to handle is the libero, Vanessa, here for the Cougars. Game point, match point for Moorpark. 24-16, they lead here in game 4.
It's good to see that Cuesta's still fighting hard. They definitely have not going to give in to this match.
Number 11, Hallie Perkins with the serve, handled by Cuesta. Savannah Bona blocked at the net, but blocked out of bounds. Point for the Cougars, are still alive. Trailing 17-24 here in game 4.
A big time for Nancy now to come in and get some points.
Nancy Andrade back to serve for the Cougars.
A good front line for Cuesta as well, as they have Honeycutt back in the front row.
Handled by Moorpark, good pass. Tight set. Free ball over by the Cougars.
Nice fighting by
the
Cougars.
Moorpark side. Ball into the stands. Morgan Kraus, another great hustle play, and saves it. Slide here into the net by number 18, Carrie SF. Point Cougars.
Cuesta celebrating their success there, and that's big right now. They're not going to just concede this game to Moorpark. They are going to push it. It's all up to Nancy now to make sure that her serves are tough but inside.
18-24, Cuesta trails in game 4. Sets up for Moorpark. Janessa put back by Morgan Kraus, and it finds the floor.
Interesting. Cuesta is pushing it. Moorpark's kind of hoping that they would just roll over, but it's not going to happen by these Cougars.
Morgan with a strong presence here.
Yeah.
Late at the net. Nancy with the serve. And takes down Janessa Valaga at the net. Morgan Kraus with the block. Timeout, Moorpark. That's 5 or 6 straight points by the Cougars. They're trailing 20-24. Hanging in there here with the Raiders.
You know, as Honeycutt has been doing everything on the offense, Kraus has been helping out in the defense with those blocks. It's been her and Janessa going at it, and it's fun to watch as she's picked up her game and put a big block on Janessa there. So it's going to be interesting as Moorpark takes that timeout, what they're going to do. Their offense isn't that complicated. It's either going to be the left pin or the right pin, and so hopefully Cuesta's going to be ready for it.
They look ready, I'll tell you that.
The other option here is that with the front row center by Moorpark, I can see their setter trying to do something over on 2 here, just to see if they're ready for it.
Nancy Andrade with the serve for the Cougars. Still game point, match point.
Nancy doing a good job getting her serves in. Nice tough serve.
Great up by Nancy. Set to the outside for Maddie, and she hits it out left. Moorpark takes game 4, 25-20, and wins the match.
That was unfortunate. That's probably one of the 2 or 3 hitting errors in all 4 games that Honeycutt had there, and she was going after it. You like to see them be aggressive and fight for it, so can't really, complain too much on that. But that was a good fight.
Great fight there at the end. They came back with 5 or 6 straight points.
Yeah. Nancy started it with her tough serves, and then the defense has played well. You know, I'm sure Coach Meyer isn't big on moral victories, but this is something I hope that they can build them on. They took the number 9th ranked team all the way to 4 games and wouldn't concede it.
They came out strong in game 1, handled it decidedly, lost the next 3 games, 12, 14, 20. But I would say from what I saw, it seemed, you know, I don't think their fight is quite reflective in the scores.
Right. You can see that, you know, Moorpark just played steady. They didn't do anything dominant or exciting. They just kind of kept playing, and Cuesta made some little errors here and there that you can't do against a state-ranked team. It was a fun game to watch. I'm glad we had a lot of people out here cheering on the Cuesta Cougars, and I know Coach Myers is going to, you know, look at the game tape on this, make some adjustments. And she has a very well organized team out there. It's exciting to watch. Fun
match to watch between the Cuesta Cougars and the Moorpark Raiders. In the end, Moorpark comes out on top, winning 3 games to 1, 25-14, 12-25, 14-25, 20-25. Moorpark Raiders move to 11-3 overall and 6-0 in conference play. Cuesta Cougars fall to 11-7 and 4-3 in conference play. Here in the Cuesta gym, I'm Robert Meyer.
Jeremy Douglas, thanks guys for watching and supporting.
Thank you all very much.